The loud applause echoed through the executive conference hall, but one man stood completely still. His name had never been called. After 3 years of sacrifices, countless sleepless nights, and giving everything he had to the company, the promotion he had earned was handed to someone else. The room celebrated. His heart quietly broke. What no one realized was that the man they had just overlooked would walk away with nothing but a cardboard box, and return 3 years later as the only person capable of saving the company from complete collapse. Nathan Brooks had never believed life owed him anything. At 38, he was a widowed father raising his 8-year-old daughter, Lily, alone. Every morning started before sunrise. He packed her school lunch, braided her hair after watching countless online tutorials, drove her to school, and somehow still managed to arrive at the office before anyone else. His co-workers admired his dedication but rarely understood the weight he carried after office hours. While others attended networking dinners and corporate retreats, Nathan hurried home to help with homework, cook dinner, wash clothes, and comfort a little girl who still whispered "Good night, Mom," every evening while holding an old photograph. The company, Carter Dynamics, was one of the fastest-growing engineering firms in the country. Nathan had spent 11 years there. He wasn't the loudest employee or the most political. He simply solved problems no one else could. Whenever projects were on the verge of failure, managers quietly handed them to Nathan. Somehow, deadlines were met, clients stayed happy, and millions of dollars were saved. Yet his name rarely appeared in company newsletters or award ceremonies. When rumors spread that the director of operations position was opening, nearly everyone assumed Nathan would finally receive the recognition he deserved. Even junior employees joked that they would have to start calling him "Sir." The chairman himself had once praised Nathan's work publicly, calling him the backbone of Carter Dynamics. Nathan never celebrated early. Experience had taught him that expectations often became disappointments. Still, for the first time in years, he allowed himself to imagine something different. The promotion would mean higher pay, better hours, and enough money to finally move Lily into a neighborhood with safer schools. He even promised her they would adopt the golden retriever she had wanted since kindergarten. Promotion day arrived. The conference room overflowed with applause as executives entered wearing polished smiles. Nathan sat quietly in the second row, hands folded tightly together. Then came the announcement. The new director of operations is Amanda Collins. The applause exploded. Nathan blinked. Amanda had joined the company only 18 months earlier. She was talented, ambitious, and exceptionally skilled at impressing executives, but many employees knew Nathan had trained her personally. He smiled politely. He clapped. Inside, something shattered. Over the following weeks, everything changed. Amanda slowly claimed credit for projects Nathan had designed. Meetings that once depended on his expertise no longer included him. Ideas he proposed were ignored until someone else repeated them. Younger employees noticed the unfairness but stayed silent, afraid for their own careers. Nathan kept working. Not because the company deserved it. Because his daughter deserved stability. One rainy evening, Nathan arrived nearly an hour late after Lily suffered an asthma attack at school. He rushed into the office carrying hospital papers, exhausted and worried. Amanda barely looked up. She simply informed him that consistent lateness reflected a lack of leadership commitment. That sentence stayed with Nathan all night. Leadership commitment. He had missed meetings to attend parent-teacher conferences. Skipped vacations because projects were behind schedule. Worked weekends while Lily colored pictures beside his desk. Yet somehow, none of that counted. The next morning, Nathan walked into human resources carrying a single envelope. Inside was his resignation. No dramatic speech. No angry accusations. Just one sentence. I hope someday this company remembers that loyalty cannot be replaced. He packed his desk into a cardboard box containing a small family photograph, an old coffee mug from Lily, a notebook full of engineering sketches, and a tiny plant she had given him on Father's Day. Many co-workers looked away in embarrassment. Some secretly wiped away tears. Nobody stopped him. Nathan drove home wondering whether he had just destroyed the only secure future he had ever built. For months, life became incredibly difficult. Savings disappeared faster than expected. Nathan accepted freelance engineering work, repaired machinery for local factories, and even spent weekends teaching technical classes at a community college. Money remained tight. But something remarkable happened. For the first time in years, Nathan actually ate dinner with Lily every night. He attended every school play, every soccer game, every science fair. One evening, Lily hugged him and quietly admitted something that nearly brought him to tears. She said she liked seeing him smile again. Nathan realized she wasn't talking about money. She was talking about peace. Meanwhile, Carter Dynamics continued growing, at least on paper. Amanda's leadership looked impressive during presentations, but cracks slowly began appearing beneath the surface. Experienced engineers resigned one after another. Clients complained about delayed deliveries. Cost overruns doubled. Projects once completed smoothly became chaotic. Executives blamed market conditions. The real problem remained hidden. Nathan had never been just another employee. He had been the person quietly holding everything together. 3 years passed. Nathan eventually founded a small engineering consulting company with only 4 employees working from a modest warehouse. Instead of chasing investors, he focused on solving impossible industrial problems other firms refused to touch. Word spread. Factories saved millions using Nathan's practical solutions. Clients recommended him everywhere. Within 3 years, his tiny company expanded into multiple states. Ironically, many of his biggest contracts came from businesses that had once been loyal customers of Carter Dynamics. Nathan never celebrated anyone's failure. He simply concentrated on serving people honestly. One cold November morning, his assistant entered carrying unexpected news. The chairman of Carter Dynamics is here. Nathan looked up slowly. He hadn't seen Richard Carter in over 3 years. The elderly chairman appeared older now. His confident posture had faded. Gray hair framed a tired face carrying obvious regret. For several silent seconds, neither man spoke. Finally, Richard placed a thick folder on Nathan's desk. Inside were financial reports, canceled contracts, and emergency restructuring plans. The numbers were devastating. Years of poor leadership had nearly destroyed the company. Then the chairman quietly admitted something few powerful men ever say. I made the biggest mistake of my career. Nathan listened without interrupting. Richard explained how Amanda had prioritized appearances over substance. Talented employees left because they felt invisible. Innovation disappeared. Morale collapsed. Clients no longer trusted the company. Then came the sentence Nathan never expected to hear. I've come to ask you to come back. Not as director. Not as vice president. As chief executive officer. The board had unanimously agreed that Nathan was the only leader capable of rebuilding the company. Nathan stared through the office window. He remembered the humiliation. The sleepless nights. The cardboard box. The broken promise to Lily about the dog they couldn't afford. Every painful memory returned at once. But so did other memories. Watching Lily grow into a confident teenager. Building a business based on honesty. Hiring people who had once been overlooked, just like him. He realized something important. Success hadn't erased his pain. It had transformed it into wisdom. Nathan gently closed the folder. He thanked Richard sincerely for trusting him. But he declined. The chairman looked devastated. Nathan explained that returning would mean abandoning the employees who now depended on his own company. He had finally built the workplace he always wished existed, a place where parents weren't punished for choosing family, where quiet workers received recognition, and where integrity mattered more than office politics. Then Nathan made an unexpected offer. Instead of returning as CEO, he agreed to become Carter Dynamics' independent advisor for 1 year. He would help rebuild leadership systems, mentor future managers, and restore the company culture, but only if every employee received fair opportunities based on merit rather than favoritism. Richard accepted immediately. Over the following year, Nathan transformed the organization without occupying the highest office. Promotion policies became transparent. Employee well-being programs expanded. Managers received leadership training focused on respect instead of fear. Former employees were invited back. Many accepted. the company slowly recovered. Not because one brilliant man saved it. Because one humble man taught others how to value people again. Years later, during a company anniversary celebration, Richard publicly acknowledged the greatest lesson of his career. Buildings create businesses. Profits grow companies. But people build legacies. Nathan stood quietly at the back of the room beside Lily, now preparing for college. She squeezed his hand. She didn't see a man who had lost a promotion. She saw the father who never stopped choosing what truly mattered. Sometimes life closes the door you desperately wanted because another path is waiting, one where your worth is finally recognized, your kindness becomes your strength, and your greatest setback becomes someone else's greatest lesson. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more emotional, inspiring stories that remind us that kindness, patience, and integrity always matter. And before you go, leave a comment telling us what you would have done if you were Nathan. Your thoughts may inspire someone else who is facing a similar challenge today.